All right, let's jump right in.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're diving deep into UFC 310.
Yeah.
And we've got a ton to cover. We've got recaps, articles, even some fighter interviews.
Right.
So this is going to be a good one.
I'm excited.
Now, trust me, there's a lot more to this event than just what you see in the headlines.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
This wasn't just wins and losses, you know?
Right.
This card had some serious narrative weight behind it.
For sure.
So, like, even the prelims were stacked. You had veterans trying to get back in the win column.
Right.
Rising stars, like making their case for title shots.
Absolutely.
And, you know, some fighters dealing with really heavy stuff coming into this.
Yeah, some real emotional backstories.
Okay. Let's start with Dominick Reyes.
Okay.
He just put on a clinic against Anthony Smith.
He did.
I mean, I was just blown away by
impressive.
how many strikes he landed.
I know.
And get this, more in under 2 rounds than he landed in 5.
Whoa. Full rounds against John Jones.
That's crazy.
What's going on there?
Well, I think it points to some serious adjustments that he's made since that fight with Jones.
Right.
You know, it was a controversial loss to Jones. And then after that, he had that string of knockouts, you know?
Yeah, he got caught a few times.
Right, but now he's on a 2-fight win streak, and he looks so much sharper.
He does.
Way more calculated.
Yeah.
It was almost like he was picking his shots against Smith.
Like he was being very patient.
Exactly, focusing on accuracy over just power.
It's interesting you say that because against Jones, it felt like he was just trying to
overwhelm him.
Yeah, overwhelm him with power.
Right, which obviously didn't work.
No, it backfired.
Yeah.
So do you think this new approach is more sustainable?
I definitely think so, yeah.
Okay.
By focusing on precision and technique, he's conserving energy.
Right.
And minimizing the risk of getting caught with a counter.
That makes sense. Plus, it keeps his opponents guessing.
So they don't know what to expect.
Exactly. They can't just wait for that big haymaker anymore.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So we've got Ray seemingly back in the game.
It seems like it.
But we can't talk about that fight with Smith without talking about the really difficult circumstances that Smith was dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the recent passing of his coach and friend, Scott Morton,
right.
You know, it clearly weighed heavily on him.
It was impossible to miss.
Yeah.
It just adds a whole other layer to this whole narrative.
For sure.
I mean, Morton had been in his corner for practically his entire career.
It's got to be tough.
58 fights.
Wow.
That's a bond that goes way beyond just fighter and coach.
Yeah, you build a real relationship over that time.
Absolutely.
I can only imagine.
And to see him, you know, break down like that before the fight.
Oh, man.
It was truly heartbreaking. It was...
And, you know, his post-fight comments even hinted at retirement.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It really makes you think about the toll this sport takes.
Yeah.
Not just physically, but emotionally.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a stark reminder that these are human beings in there with lives and emotions that
extend
beyond the octagon.
Exactly. It's something we often forget, you know?
Yeah.
Amidst all the spectacle.
Yeah. All right.
You're right.
Let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay. Who are we talking about?
Let's talk about Movsar Evloev, potential title contender.
Oh, yeah.
He just dominated former bantamweight champion.
I know. He looked great.
Aljamain Sterling.
Right.
Who, by the way, moved up to featherweight for this fight.
He did, yeah.
And he extended his undefeated record to 19-0.
19-0.
I mean, he's making a strong case for a title shot, wouldn't you say?
He's definitely putting the division on notice.
I think so, too.
Yeah. The way he dismantled Sterling, who's a phenomenal grappler in his own right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was truly impressive.
It was.
What I noticed is how Evloev uses his grappling not just to take his opponents down, but to control them.
Yeah, to control them on the ground.
Rack up points.
Right.
Neutralize their offense.
It's a masterclass in grinding out a win.
Yeah, like it's not just about the takedowns.
No.
It's about that control and limiting the other fighter's ability to do anything.
Exactly. The judges reward fighters who dictate the pace and demonstrate clear dominance.
Yeah.
And that's precisely what he does.
Yeah, and he's so good at that positional control.
The best.
So his win over Arnold Allen earlier this year is looking even better now.
Oh, for sure.
Considering Allen's on a long winning streak himself.
Absolutely.
And then there's Diego Lopes.
Yeah.
who Evloev also beat.
He did.
And Lopes is now on a 5-fight win streak and making some noise in the division.
Yeah, he is.
It really shows that those wins were no fluke.
No fluke at all.
He's consistently beating top-level competition.
He is.
And his stock is definitely rising.
It is.
Speaking of putting on a show.
Okay, who we got?
Vicente Luque.
Oh, yeah.
Pulled off one of the most impressive submissions I've seen in a long time.
It was beautiful.
He submitted Themba Gorimbo with an anaconda choke in under a minute.
Oh, my goodness.
That's the fastest in UFC history.
Big kidding.
Luque is a finishing machine.
Oh, he is a beast.
I mean, plain and simple.
For sure.
He holds the record for the second most finishes in welterweight history.
That's impressive.
Just behind Matt Brown.
Oh.
That anaconda choke.
It was amazing.
It was a thing of beauty.
How did he do that so quickly?
It was so fast. I had to rewind it a few times to see exactly how he did it.
Yeah.
Could you break down the mechanics of the choke for us?
Sure. So the anaconda choke is a blood choke.
Okay.
So the goal is to compress the carotid arteries on the side of the neck, which cuts off blood flow to the brain.
That sounds unpleasant.
Yeah, not fun.
Yeah.
What makes it so effective, especially in Luque's case, is the element of surprise. He caught Gorimbo so early before he could even establish his base.
Yeah.
And that's so crucial for submissions like this.
Yeah, you don't really have time to react.
No.
So I was surprised by the matchup itself.
Really?
Luque was originally slated to fight Nick Diaz.
Oh, wow.
A veteran known for his durability and brawling style.
That would have been a completely different fight.
Right.
Completely different.
I mean, it would have been a brawl.
Oh, absolutely.
It would have been a totally different fight.
Oh, yeah.
So against Gorimbo, who was making his UFC debut, Luque's experience and finishing ability were on full display.
Oh, yeah, he shined up.
But it's interesting.
Hear that.
They're both 33 years old.
They are.
But Gorimbo has significantly less experience.
Oh, wow.
This was only his 19th pro fight.
Right.
Compared to Luke's 34th.
Right.
And Luke's already fought 22 times in the UFC.
So that experience gap was definitely a factor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Luque was so composed.
Yeah.
So patient. And when the opportunity came, he pounced.
He was ready.
Deadly precision.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to watch.
It was, yeah. It's amazing.
It really is.
How a fighter's career can just ebb and flow like that.
Yeah.
You think about Reyes, those losses after the Jones fight.
Yeah.
And now he seems to be reinventing himself.
With a whole new fighter.
It makes you wonder.
I know.
What might have been if he had gotten the decision against Jones.
Yeah.
Would he have gone on that knockout skid?
Right. Would he have
even made those adjustments?
Oh, no.
It's the butterfly effect, you know?
One moment changing the whole trajectory.
Absolutely. And then you have Anthony Smith at a crossroads in his career.
It seems like it, yeah.
The loss to Ray.
Yeah.
The emotional weight of Morton's passing.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to carry.
It is.
It really highlights the cyclical nature of the sport.
That's true.
You have fighters on the rise like Reyes and those potentially on their way out.
Potentially, yeah.
Then Smith might be.
It's tough.
It's a constant reminder that nothing in the sport is guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed.
All right, let's talk about another fighter on the rise.
Okay, who we got?
Movsar Evloev.
All right.
With this win over Sterling, he's 19-0.
Wow.
And calling for a title shot.
He's making a statement.
He is.
Yeah.
Ilia Topuria is the current featherweight champ after those stunning knockouts of Volkanovski and Holloway.
Get back.
So do you think Evloev has what it takes to dethrone him?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
Topuria is
a beast.
A beast. His striking is next level.
It's scary.
But Evloev presents a different kind of challenge.
Okay.
He's not going to stand and trade with Topuria.
No, he's going to...
He's going to use his wrestling...
Yeah, his control to grind Topuria down, wear him out. Yeah. So it would be a classic striker versus grappler matchup.
Exactly. And it would come down to who can impose their will.
Right.
Who can dictate the pace of the fight.
And Evloev's control.
Oh, it's suffocating.
Suffocating. He'll wear you down, take you down, and just keep you there.
And some argue that his style isn't exciting enough for a title shot.
I've heard that. What do you make of that?
I mean, there's definitely some truth to that.
Right.
He doesn't have the highlight reel knockouts that Topuria has.
Yeah.
But you can't deny his effectiveness. He wins. And he wins convincingly.
So consistently.
And let's not forget, he's already beaten Diego Lopes, who's now on a 5-fight win streak.
Yeah, and looking like a title contender himself.
He is, for sure.
So that win over Lopes is looking more and more impressive with each fight.
Absolutely. It adds a lot of weight to his claim for a title shot.
Yeah, but it also makes the featherweight division incredibly interesting.
Oh, it's so stacked.
You've got Topuria at the top.
Yeah.
Evloev and Lopes.
Right.
Vying for a shot.
Vying for that shot, yeah.
And then you still have guys like Arnold Ballin in the mix.
Don't count him out.
It's a reminder of how quickly things can change in MMA.
Yeah.
One fight can shake up an entire division.
For sure.
Speaking of shake-ups.
Okay. Okay, what we got?
Let's go back to Vicente Luque and that anaconda choke.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just a win.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
It was a statement.
It was a statement. The speed, the technique. It was almost artistic.
It really was.
Yeah.
It made me wonder how many fighters even practice that specific choke.
Yeah, it's not...
You see it every day.
You don't see it every day, no.
It's a high-level
technique.
And it requires so much precision.
So much precision.
That timing, you have to catch your opponent off guard, trap the arm, and then apply the squeeze in just the right way. Luque made it look effortless. Which is a testament to his skill. I keep thinking about how different things might have been if he'd fought Nick Diaz.
Right, the original matchup.
As originally planned.
Yeah.
I mean, Diaz's guard
is legendary.
It's legendary.
He's so tough to submit.
Would Luque?
I don't know, being able to pull off
that choke against him.
Diaz is incredibly tough to submit.
Yeah.
He's flexible.
Yeah.
He's got great awareness.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to take risks.
No, he's not.
Would have been a much tougher fight.
Yeah.
For Luque.
Sure.
But you can never count him out.
Never count Luque out.
He's always dangerous.
He's so dangerous.
So dangerous.
So dangerous.
I guess we'll never know.
I guess not.
But maybe they'll cross paths.
Maybe down the road?
Down the road.
That'd be fun to watch.
It would be a must-see matchup.
It would?
It's interesting that both Luque and Michael Chiesa got submission wins
in
their birthdays.
On their birthdays.
Wow. Chiesa, fresh off earning his black belt.
That's right.
Submitted Max Griffin.
He did.
On his 37th birthday.
That's a good birthday present.
It is.
Yeah.
And then you have young Chase Hooper.
Okay.
Just 25.
Submitting veteran Clay Guida with an arm bar.
What a night for submissions.
It was. Talk about a birthday present.
It's a great example of these generational clashes we see in MMA.
Yeah.
You got Chiesa, the seasoned veteran, relying on his experience and grappling skill.
And then you got Hooper, representing the new guard.
The new guard, with
his innovative, aggressive style.
It's a testament to the evolution of the sport.
Absolutely.
You see these young fighters coming in with new techniques, pushing the boundaries.
Absolutely. And yet you still see veterans like Guida, who's been fighting professionally since 2003.
Wow.
Proving they can still compete.
They can still hang.
At a high level.
It's amazing.
It's a constant cycle of adaptation and renewal.
It really is.
And sometimes those veterans have to face setbacks.
They do.
We saw that with Chris Weidman, the former middleweight champion who lost to Eryk Anders.
He did.
At 195-pound catch weight.
Tough fight.
It's been a tough road for him.
It has.
Since that gruesome leg break.
Oh, that was brutal.
A few years ago.
Yeah, it was hard to watch.
It's hard to watch a fighter go through that kind of adversity.
It's tough.
He was on top of the world.
Yeah, he was undefeated.
Undefeated, considered unbeatable by many.
Yeah.
And then that injury changed everything.
It's crazy.
It's a reminder of how fragile a fighter's career can be.
Yeah, one moment can change everything.
It can.
Yeah.
But it also speaks to the resilience.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Weidman could have easily...
He could have walked away.
Walked away after that injury.
Yeah.
But he chose to come back.
He did.
To fight his way back.
That takes a lot of courage.
It does.
And determination.
Then while he may not be the same fighter he was before the injury, he's still a force to be reckoned with.
He is, for sure.
And let's not forget the other notable performances.
Okay, who else we got?
On the card.
All right.
Yeah, Joshua Van putting on a striking clinic.
I saw that.
Against Cody Durden in the flyweight division.
Flyweights are fun.
I know. He landed over 140 significant strikes.
That's crazy.
I mean, Van is a young prospect with a lot of potential.
He's got a bright future.
He does. He's got great technique and fight IQ.
He's one to watch.
Definitely one to watch.
For sure.
In the flyweight division.
Absolutely.
And to kick off the night... We had a quick knockout.
Always love a good knockout.
In the heavyweight division.
All right.
With Kennedy Nzechukwu.
Okay.
Finishing Lukas Brzeski in the first round.
Heavyweights always bring the excitement.
They do.
And Nzechukwu definitely delivered.
He did.
With that knockout.
It was explosive.
It was.
UFC 310 was a night of ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
Highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
We saw fighters at different stages of their careers, battling for different reasons.
Walks of life.
But one thing was clear.
One thing was clear.
They all left it all.
They left it all.
In the octagon.
In the octagon. Yeah, it really is.
You know, we've talked about the big names, the title contenders.
Right.
But this card was a reminder that every fight on the UFC roster has a story behind it.
It's a microcosm of the sport itself.
It is.
You see fighters at every stage of their journey.
For sure.
You got veterans trying to hang on.
Right.
Young guns trying to break through.
Yeah.
And everyone in between just fighting for their place.
It's true. We saw that with Chris Weidman.
Chris Weidman, man.
It's hard not to feel for him after that loss. Anders.
It was tough.
He's such a respected figure in the sport.
Absolutely.
And that leg break.
Oh, it was brutal.
2 years back was just brutal.
Yeah.
But he keeps coming back.
He does.
Keeps pushing.
It makes you think about that idea of hanging on, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when does it become about more than wins and losses?
Exactly.
Weidman's clearly not the same fighter he was before.
Right.
But he's still competing.
He is.
At the top level.
At the highest level.
And that takes an incredible amount of heart.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. And then you have a guy like Anthony Smith dealing with the loss of his coach.
Yeah.
Hinting at retirement.
Yeah. It adds
this whole other layer.
This whole other layer of emotion.
Yeah.
To the fights.
Yeah. It's
not. It makes you realize what's at stake beyond the belt.
Exactly. Smith's fight with Reyes.
Right.
It wasn't just about who had the better game plan that night.
It was bigger than that.
It was a glimpse into the human cost of this sport.
For sure.
It makes you wonder how you measure success in a world where every victory comes with a price.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We keep coming back to this idea of evolution, right?
Evolution, yeah.
His fighters are
constantly
adapting, refining their style.
Refining, yeah.
Trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Got to stay ahead.
Reyes with his new striking approach.
Right.
Luke with his mastery of submissions. Even Chiesa getting that black belt and showcasing his grappling.
It's almost Darwinian, you know.
It is. It really is.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
But in this case,
fittest
means being able to adjust.
To adjust, yeah.
To learn.
To learn.
And add new weapons to your arsenal.
It's true. The fighters who stagnate, who rely on the same old tricks, they're the ones who get left behind.
They get left behind.
So thinking back to everything we've discussed.
Everything we talked about.
What stands out to you?
That's a good question.
As the biggest takeaway from UFC 310.
The biggest takeaway.
Was it Reyes' resurgence?
Yeah.
The featherweight title picture.
Right.
Heating up with Evloev and Lopes.
Yeah.
Making their case.
It's tough to say.
Yeah.
I think for me it's the reminder that MMA is more than just entertainment.
True.
It's a reflection of the human spirit.
I like that.
The drive to push limits, to overcome adversity, to constantly strive for something bigger than yourself.
That's a really good point.
And whether it's a veteran fighting for their legacy or a newcomer fighting for their chance, that spirit is on full display in every fight.
In every single fight.
Yeah.
It's a sport full of contradictions.
Yeah, it is.
Brutal, yet beautiful. Predictable.
Yeah.
Yet full of surprises.
There's so many surprises.
You've got these incredible athletes. Pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
The limit.
And yet there's this undercurrent of respect and camaraderie between them.
Yeah, and I think
I think so too.
What keeps us coming back.
Me too.
It's not just about the knockouts and submissions. It's about the stories.
The stories.
The journeys. The human drama that unfolds
it's true.
inside the octagon.
Yeah. So as you continue to follow the world of UFC.
Remember
to look beyond the headline.
Beyond the wins and losses.
Beyond the wins and losses.
Pay attention to the fighters' stories.
Their stories.
Their struggles. Their triumphs. Because that's where the real heart of this sport lies.
Absolutely. And who knows?
Yeah. Maybe UFC 310 sparked a question in your mind. A what if? Right. A comparison you hadn't considered before.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
That's the beauty.
Of the sport.
Of the sport.
It keeps you thinking.
Keeps you thinking.
It keeps you engaged.
Engaged.
Long after the final bell.
The final bell.
Has rung.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
On this deep dive.
Into UFC 310.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep questioning.
And keep that fighting spirit alive.
Keep that fighting spirit alive.